that humanity that we speak about. When you have leaders that are encouraging the support of acts of violence very blatantly, when you have leaders that think that it's okay to show the bombing of a community, a village, a space, a war vessel, a vessel in the sea, to encourage the importance of having warfare against entities that may not even be the entities that you should be encouraging this type of engagement with. How do you actually bring truth as power? And we're encouraging persons that are listening and viewing, as we finally got, our Oz Speaks broadcast on place here with the crew podcast on these first and third Thursdays at 8 p.m. If you have questions or you have comments on this broadcast that's happening live now, share them. When we say Hotep, we're saying peace. We're coming in peace. We're coming in tranquility. And at the same time, we have to be very clear, very honest with one another that what is taking place is they're shamming humanity to think. Just like how persons were very comfortable and remain very comfortable saying that it is okay
Yes.
for genocide to happen in certain parts of the world. And mind you, it's okay to have leaders that are convicted of felony charges determining the actions against humanity. This is just inhumane that
Yes.
are being able to be forced to tolerate acts of war, acts of terror, acts of genocide, but then on the other side of their mouth, their other side of their face, because this is not fork tongue. This is like multi-talent, this is like the Predator. In Predator, that film, those that know what I'm speaking of, it wasn't like a forked tongue that came out. The entire jaw space opened up and went into multiple directions. This is inhumane. And this is the time where our silence is no longer useful. It's one thing to be silent and let time be longer than twine. But right now, our silence must cease. There has to be actions. There has to be a quest of not just negotiations, but the type of negotiations that are imperative. This is a matter of life or the urgency of minimizing war in this region is imperative. The organizations, whether persons are comfortable with the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, the Organization of American States, the Caribbean Pan African Network, the Eastern Caribbean, uh, the Eastern, the Eastern Caribbean organizations, CARICOM, and all of these other entities, whether it is the Emancipation Support Committee of Trinidad and Tobago, we're hearing from the various Caribbean peace movements in the region. No one desires to see warships coming into Caribbean spaces as well